Hello everybody, I'm Mohammed Ali. I'm from Syria. I'm a student at Sarai Smart School. Today I made this presentation to discuss one of the most important issues of our time, which is climate change. Here we have the table of contents. We're gonna start with the introduction, then talk about climate, vice versa climate change, and cover the causes and effects of climate change, and end with a conclusion. First of all, let's start with the introduction, in which we will cover these ideas: the climate change across the world, the importance of climate change projects, and climate change in Syria. So first of all, climate change is a global phenomenon, affects every corner of our planet, causing significant environmental, social, and economic impacts. Let's dive into the importance of climate change projects and explore their specific implication for Syria. Climate change projects are essential for several reasons. Environmentally, climate change projects help protect our natural resources, preserve biodiversity, and safeguard fragile ecosystems. Economically, they create new opportunities for green jobs, sustainable industries, and renewable energy, leading to economic growth and enhanced resilience. Socially, they prioritize the well-being of communities, ensuring access to clean water, food security, and improved health outcomes. Now let's focus on the specific implication of climate change in Syria. So, this Middle Eastern nation, already facing numerous challenges, experience unique climate-related issues including rising temperature, water scarcity, and desertification. Now we're going to talk about the climate, vice versa climate change. We're going to start with the scientific definition of climate and the climate change, then I will redefine them using my own words. So climate refers to the long-term average of weather conditions observed over a specific region or the entire Earth. It contains various elements including temperature, precipitation, humidity, wind patterns, and atmospheric pressure. Climate is characterized by statistical measures such as average, variations, and extremes, and that are typically calculated over a period of 30 years or more. Now, moving to the scientific definition of climate change refers to the long-term alteration in the statistical distribution of weather patterns over a period of time, typically decades to centuries or longer. In other words, it means the changes in the temperature, precipitation, wind patterns, and other aspects of Earth's climate system. Now, in my own simple words, I can say climate is the overall normal weather condition that we expect in a particular area for a long period of time, and the change or the long-term shifts in it, we called it climate change. Now we're going to talk about the causes of climate change. First of all, we have greenhouse gas emissions. Secondly, we have deforestation, and lastly, we have unsustainable agricultural practices. So, talking about greenhouse gas emissions, Syria, like many other countries, contributes to greenhouse gas emissions through the composition of fossil fuels for energy production, transportation, and industrial process. The oil industry in Tartus and Homs plays a significant role in this regard. The extraction, refining, and consumption of fossil fuels release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to the global warming. As you can see, this is a picture of the oil industry in Homs. We can see a lot of smoke that contributes to the global warming. Then we have deforestation. Desertification appears evident in many areas in Syria, especially the Syrian desert and Homs. While Syria is not known for extensive deforestation, the country has faced significant challenges due to ongoing conflicts and displacement of people. Deforestation may occur as a consequence of conflicts, population displacement, and unsustainable resources extraction. Deforestation can lead to the loss of carbon sinks, distributing the balance of CO2 absorption and contributing to climate change. Here we have a picture of the Syrian desert in Homs. As you can see, there are a lot of spaces that are not suitable to have plants or green plants. Now we have the unsustainable agricultural practices. Agriculture in Syria faces challenges such as water scarcity and soil degradation. Unsustainable agricultural practices including excessive water use, improper irrigation techniques, and the use of chemical fertilizers. All of these can contribute to the greenhouse gas emissions. Inefficient agriculture practices can also lead to soil erosion and reduced carbon sequestration potential, as we can see in Al Ghab Plain and the Syrian coast, including Tartus and Latakia. In this picture, we can see how much and the huge amount of chemicals we use in agriculture in Syria. Especially this photo was taken of Al Ghab Plain. Now we're going to talk about the effects of climate change. We're going to start about the current effects of climate change. So we have water scarcity. Climate change exacerbates water scarcity in Syria, with rising temperature and changing precipitation patterns leading to decreased water availability for agriculture, industry, and domestic use. Crop failure and food insecurity, erratic rainfall droughts, and extreme heat events impact agriculture productivity, leading to crop failures and food shortage, particularly for vulnerable rural communities. Third, we have increased desertification. Climate change contributes to the expansion of arid and desert areas in Syria, as we have previously mentioned, leading to land degradation, loss of vegetation, and reduced agricultural productivity. Displacement and migration. The combination of environmental stressors, including droughts and water scarcity, can contribute to the population displacement and migration as communities seek more areas or livelihood opportunities. And finally, we have the humanitarian crisis. As we all know and have witnessed in Syria, climate change existing vulnerability in Syria, contributing to the socio-economic challenges, poverty, and food insecurity. Now we're gonna move to talk about the expected effects of climate change in Syria if we didn't solve this very essential issue. So first of all, we have the increased frequency and intensity of heat waves. Just like India, Syria may face more frequent and intensive heat waves, leading to heat-related health issues, decreased productivity, and increased energy demand for cooling. Then we have the sea level rise and coastal flooding, large coastal region worldwide. Low-lying areas in Syria, including Latakia, could face the risk of sea level rise and coastal flooding. Intensified water stress. Following the example of countries like Egypt, impacts reduce the flow of water in the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, and that can affect the agriculture, hydropower generation, and water availability for communities. Then we have increased frequency of extreme weather events. Syria could face an increased frequency of extreme weather events such as intense rainfalls and flash floods, similar to events experienced in other countries like Bangladesh. Finally, we have the threats to biodiversity and ecosystems. Similar to countries like Australia, climate change may pose significant threats to Syria's unique biodiversity and ecosystems, including forests, wetlands, wildlife. That was everything. Now we're going to talk about the conclusion. In conclusion, climate change is a pressing global issue that affects every part of our planet, including Syria. Climate change projects are crucial as they help protect the environment, create economic opportunities, and prioritize the well-being of communities. Syria faces specific climate-related challenges such as rising temperature, water scarcity, and desertification. These challenges, along with the expected effects of climate change, including increased heat waves, sea levels rise, intensified water stress, and threats to biodiversity, highlight the urgent need for action to mitigate and adapt to climate change in Syria and globally. That was everything. Thank for your attention and for your listening.